Hey there, people of the interwebs. My name's Brandon Noel. Uh, if you're unfamiliar with me, that's fine. I'm a cartoonist who's been kicking around since '09. Um, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, um, Yule, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Um, I'm just doing. I'm gonna try to get better at doing these weekly sketch videos. Um, Adjustments on the fly. So yeah, my name is Brandon Noel. I'm best known for kids books, Mr. Cuddles, that kind of thing. Angelically possessed teddy bear protecting his family against zombies, vampires, and babysitters. Um, I also do a variety of other things. One of the things I do is a web comic strip that I will be getting back to sometime this upcoming year called Betty Bombshell, about a pinup superhero. Um, I will be drastically changing the format because it takes a long time to draw Betty Bombshell, and I would like to get it down to where I can. Part of the reason why it takes so long is because I'm drawing it like an old 1930s Sunday comic page with basically like 9 or 10 panels a page, and it takes a while. And it's not the standard Watchmen 9 panel grid. It's a little different. It's like two, one big one in the middle, and then two. And it's a very unique format. But anyway, besides the kids' books, I like pinup and I like kind of noir and that kind of stuff, and so I'm going to be doing for the Betty Bombshell a lot. I'm going to be doing. I'm going to try to get these videos up twice a week. One will be a pinup sketch, and then the other will be more of a superhero comic book cartoony thing that'll hopefully tie in with something going on. So anyway, I'm gonna do um, uh, more of a just a pinup. Yes, I am. That was my long-suffering wife. Christmas has always been my favorite time of the year. It's just kind of been. I think when I was a kid, it was about getting cool stuff and gifts and all that kind of stuff. But as I got older, Christmas kind of became, a little bit you know, something else. Um, yeah, Christmas is definitely probably my favorite time of the year. Um, Actually, I'm going to change that arm. One of my earliest memories of Christmas, I believed in Santa Claus a lot longer than most children. In fact, I still proclaim belief uh, because why not? Santa is one of those things that I grew up loving and not willing to give that one up. I remember uh, one of my earliest fist fights as a kid was actually with another kid on the playground who, told me Santa Claus wasn't real, and yeah, that ended up in a fist fight. I was fifth grade or so. Um, no, it was probably earlier than that, younger than that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of where my principles still lie. You know, I still very much love the idea of Santa Claus and Christmas. And in A Christmas Carol, my favorite line is when Scrooge meets Ghost of Christmas Present. Um, Scrooge looks at the Ghost of Christmas Present and says something to the effect of, "I see you wear a sheath but no sword." And a sheath is what you use to carry swords in. Um, and Christmas Present laughs very jolly, grabs the sheath, and goes, "Oh yeah, goodwill towards men and peace on earth. I don't need it." And so that's one of the things of why I love Christmas so much is goodwill towards men and peace on earth. You don't need it. You don't need the sword. You know. Um, it's one of the cool things about Christmas. I do have a little bit of reference for this piece. I'm looking at a Christmas pinup shot of, I think her name's Elizabeth Morgan. She played, if I'm wrong, forgive me, she played Samantha on Bewitched. So I'm looking at one of her old Christmas pinup poses. I changed it a little bit, but kind of a sexy Mrs. Claus. I go through quite a bit of Sharpie markers. Where's my other bag? Ah, because when I use these Sharpie markers and then I throw watercolor on over it, they don't bleed. But also, I like the very fine tip of these just for a quick sketch. Um, and what happens when you draw with these um, for quite a while, when you really draw with them or work with them, uh, they're not really meant for art. I guess they kind of are. I don't know. But they get dull. The they get worn down. So I like these when they're kind of almost fresh out of the box. But yeah, I've always just been a big fan of Christmas and Santa Claus and this time of year. You know, like I said, it started off with just being a kid and getting presents. Um, but it evolved into more of a love of just this time of year and humanity and, like I said, goodwill towards men and peace on earth. Um, yeah, I like that. I like that concept. Uh, peace on earth. It almost seems like we could pull it off around this time of the year. There's that very famous story. I think it was World War One, where the soldiers stopped fighting for Christmas. So it's Christmas time. Yeah. Then it's just like I said, it just Christmas always kind of spoke to me. I said I'm a big fan of watercolor. Not because I'm an expert in it or like even all that good at watercolor, but I just feel it gives me a chance to throw down some quick color and get some decent texture that I wouldn't get otherwise. Um, so you can just throw a little color. Um, One of the best use of like watercolor in a comic book is Superman for All Seasons. Um, it's beautiful. The whole book was watercolored. But yeah, just the Saint Nicholas Christmas. This I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but it's always kind of cool. Um, and then of course Saint Nicholas was a Catholic saint. At one point, there were more churches and things of that nature titled Church of Saint Nicholas than even he was at one point the most popular Catholic saint. And if you go back and you read a lot of the Catholic saint stuff, like there's pretty cool stuff in there with Saint Nicholas of him fighting demons and tying them in chains and casting them in the oceans and just really cool stuff like that. But one of the cool pieces of Christmas lore, the whole stocking and gifts in the stocking, where that came from, was there was a family who I believe the father had passed away, and they had three daughters with no dowry. And back then, you basically, if you didn't have a dowry, no marriage was going to happen. So he was going to have three. This family had three young women who were basically going to have to enter into prostitution. Um, you know, because they wouldn't have been able to really enter the workforce or anything like that. Had no dowry for marriage. And what happened was St. Nicholas heard of this and decided to give them three dowries, one for each lady, but he didn't want it to come off as charity. So he took 3 bags of money and just as he walked by their house, kind of just tossed them through the family's window. One of the ladies had her stockings hanging by the fire because back then, if you only really had one good pair of stockings, you're going to have to dry them out each night and that kind of thing. Well, one of the bags of gold landed in the stocking, and that's where it really comes, where the origins of Christmas and the stocking and all that kind of stuff. And then Christmas is a hodgepodge of different pagan rituals and all that kind of stuff. Because when Catholics kind of took over the world, Roman Catholic Empire, they couldn't get people to quit celebrating various pagan holidays, so a lot of it is left over from paganism, Yule and that kind of stuff. And then of course the Santa Claus that we know really today is a combination of a couple of different things, but I have kind of an obsessive personality, so when I get into something, I have to study and research it. First Christmas trees were apple trees. That's why we put ornaments on the tree, because when the settlers came over from Europe and they only had, you know, pine trees, they would decorate them with different things to represent the apples that were the apple tree from back in the day. So a lot of weird stuff like that. This one went a little long. Normally these videos are like 10 minutes. Um, but there, probably because I was chatting on. But there you have it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. May all your dreams come true. Peace on earth, goodwill towards men. Hope you enjoyed these videos. They're going to be coming out hopefully more regularly. We'll see what happens. I would like these videos to come out more regularly, but I'm seeing some internet providers are already raising prices post the net neutrality situation. So hopefully I'll be allowed to stay online. I'm going to do my very best. Thank you so much for your support, and please like and subscribe.